Hello my friends, yes, Evelyn here. Welcome back to this, my very own little creative corner of the internet. Now my friends, if you have not pressed that all important subscribe button, please do it. It'll only take you a second and it lets me know that you're all there supporting me. So my friends, this week, now, if you've been watching the channel at all over the last few weeks, my friends, you'll know that the last few weeks have been a little bit difficult for me. However, it's made me realise how much sewing and creating is such a huge part of my life and how it really helps me pick myself up from the doldrums. Creating does have so much power. And with thinking about that, my friends, I got back to thinking about accessibility. So this week, I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips how I access sewing as a disabled sewist and creator. So without further ado, let's check out some top 5 accessibility sewing tips. When it comes to the tools of the sewing trade, my friends, I have one really big tip, and that is to try everything. Try all different types of cutting out your patterns. Try different types of ways of getting to your patterns in the first place. Basically, try everything and find out what works the best for you. Let's check out some of those ideas and tools, my friends. Yes, my friends, as on screen Evelyn says, try everything. Tools are supposed to aid you in your creations, so use what works for you. Personally, I have a lot of different sizes and styles of scissors to help me whatever my dexterity and pain needs on any given day. You can also get rotary cutters, but as someone with ataxia, I'll be honest and say they terrify me. Maybe one day. Having a variety of options like this gives me more options when creating. And talking of options, find what works for you in all areas of sewing and creation, including your patterns. Tissue, tracing, AO or A4 for example. And when it comes to sewing machines, a digital machine might make things easier and prove to be a revelation, or it might be a case of the simpler the better. You choose. Have a range of machine needles and sewing needles at your disposal to help make your projects as fuss-free as possible. Get out there, my friends, and explore the plethora of tools at your disposal. There really are so many to help make your creative process even easier, including this, one of my very favourites. These are fast turns. These clever tools turn tubes, loops and straps of fabric in seconds. Ingenious. In summary, friends, get creating and exploring. Find out what works for you, and don't be afraid to use one of the most valuable tools ever, fellow sewists. Ask for help if you need it, and I'm always here, my friends. So this is a topic I'm actually incredibly passionate about, my friends, because as a disabled sewist, I like to make my creations as comfy and as accessible as possible, and having different types of closures and different options for this definitely helps this to be the case. Check this out. When it comes to closures, don't be afraid to change up what the pattern suggests. Pattern calls for an invisible zip, but you prefer a lapped one? Go for it. Have a nice stash of zips in different varieties and sizes waiting for you. It might just be me, but some days call for an easy zip. For me, that means an invisible one. And other days, I like a challenge. Think an exposed centered zip. And it's the same with buttons, friends. Some of us find bigger buttons easier to use, whereas others prefer smaller buttons. Don't be afraid to adapt a design to suit your needs. And while we're talking buttons, don't be afraid to do away with them all together and go for hook and loop tape instead. I love using this tape on trousers and skirts instead of hook and bar fastenings or buttons, just like on this pair of Jane pants. So much easier. And my friends, when it comes to adapting patterns to make them more accessible, don't just stop at closures. You can change the amount of ease on a pattern too. Do you want to make it comfier? Change the waistband for an elastic waistband. There is nothing you can't do, my friends. And as always, Evelyn is here to help you. If you need a hand, just comment below or come over and connect with me over on Instagram. I'm always here and always a friendly face waiting to help. Fabric is something that you probably know, my friends, I'm a little bit obsessed with. Get to know your fabrics, my friends. Get to know which fabrics you like and which fabrics you don't, because I tell you something, there are so many different fabrics to discover. Even someone like myself who's been sewing for nearly 4 decades, still discovers new fabrics every month. So check out all those fabrics, my friends, because there's going to be something that you absolutely love and that is so comfortable for you to wear that you didn't even know about. Don't be afraid to get touchy with that fabric, my friends. If you can manage to get to a fabric store in person, then definitely do it. Spend some time seeing and touching the fabrics to see how they feel to you. And be sure to check out my video right here on the channel on a few of my fabric favourites. I'll pop a card above and a link in the description box. Also, my friends, so many online fabric stores now do samples, which means that you can buy little inexpensive swatches of fabric before you purchase. So you can get an idea of what the fabric looks like and feels like and the weight and style of the fabric before you part with your very important pennies, my friends. I am particularly excited about this next section of today's top tips video, my friends, because creating your own creations means that you can literally do anything. You can make your garments as simple or as complex as you like to suit your needs. Check out a few examples. My ultimate favourite thing about being able to create your own clothes is that you can create them exactly as you want and exactly how you need. No labels or lots of labels, you choose. You can use different fabrics for interest and texture, and this is a great thing that I've discovered to help when I'm restless, anxious or stimming. You can use as much or as little ease as you like when creating your own garments. And then we come to one of my ultimate favourite features, pockets, which I happen to have an entire video on right here on the channel. There's a card above and a link below. You can add as many pockets as you like to your garments and even use a different fabric for them for interest. Enjoy, my friends! And when it comes to the actual creative process, I have a few top tips for you there as well, my friends. I like to cut things down into 10 to 15 minute time slots. This means that I'm not in so much pain when I'm doing things like cutting out fabrics with my hands, and it also means that I don't get too frustrated or too perfectionist, because yes, I'm incredibly critical of myself. Did I just say that publicly? I might have done. And another strategy that I have, my friends, is my good, better and best strategy. This allows me to have a project envisioned in my head and have 3 different possible outcomes depending on how my health is on a particular day. This means that I still get to achieve a project that I'm proud of, but I don't overdo it and make myself feel worse. Yes. And that, my friends, is one of the biggest bits of advice I can give you, and it's going to be the last piece of advice I leave you with today on this video, my friends, and that is, whatever you're up to, be kind to yourselves, or at least try to be. I know, as a perfectionist myself, I can be incredibly harsh and very critical of my own makes, but please, my friends, don't do this to yourselves. Everything you make and create is stunning and beautiful, and you are trying your best. Sewing is an incredibly difficult task, and if you're sewing anything, guess what? You're succeeding. But until next week, my wonderful friends, you take care. See you soon. Bye.